Hey guys, sorry for the horrible angle on this video, but my camera holder broke and I haven't had time to get a replacement yet, so you get to look at all of my chins today. So it is, what is it, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it snowed last night. I hate snow, I hate ice, I hate winter. A lot has happened this week, and I have been trying to get video evidence of all of it, but it has literally been one after the other with no breaks, and I swear it is 95% all my fault, and I'm aware of it. I've owned it, but that doesn't make it any less busy or stressful. So I need to turn the heat up because just the sight of ice and snow in my car is making my body core temperature drop like 10 degrees. So, oh my god, where to start? Okay. We bought our homestead, and you probably already know that because I've already made a video where I'm practically crying because of that. So, obviously super excited and happy and cannot wait to officially move in. So stoked. And then there's the other side. And we'll keep it together, I promise. The sellers of our homestead, they trashed the place before we closed and after we closed, and literal garbage, furniture, piles of dog feces everywhere. They had like 8 dogs, big dogs, just buckets of mystery liquid is what we're calling them, because the alternatives seem a little too much to bear. So it's been a blessing. Well, I don't even know. I'm still trying to process everything that I've had to go through in this past week just to get the homestead to like basic condition the way we should have received it. And it has been, I won't say it's been a nightmare, because we're homesteaders, so, we're trying to be, but in that kind of mentality, you're always thinking, oh, can I use this? Or is there a possibility that I can repurpose this item into something else that I need? But without crossing that line into hoarding. So there have been a few useful items that we've been able to get, and that has been nice. So I won't say it's been a nightmare. It has been very stressful. It has been embarrassing because, like, I told everybody, right? Hey, we're gonna get our homestead and my family, and I'm like, hey, here's the address, and then they all drove by, and they're like, oh my gosh, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know yet. I literally could not bring myself to video the process, one, because it was all hands on deck, and this is a great time to say thank you so much to my in-laws, and my mother for coming out and helping me get this place to the basic level that it's supposed to be at in order for us to start doing what we need to do. And I am so grateful for all of you who did that. Seriously, it was such a help and a relief that I wasn't going to be trying to lift these heavy things and everything into a dumpster, because we're talking a house, a garage, and a barn just full. Oh, and outside, they trash everywhere outside. So it's not all done, but the pieces that need to be gone are going to be gone after the dumpster gets picked up. So thank you to all of you. So now that we've got that done, or done as much as we can get done, let's move on to the next thing that I decided to do. And that is kind of the focus of today's video, is I bought cattle. So we have not moved into this homestead yet. We're still cleaning up, still renovating, living about 20 minutes away from this homestead, which out here, no matter where you're going, everything's 20 minutes. But still, 20 minutes. And I stumble upon this guy, really, I mean, great people. Him and his wife were so helpful. But I find him, and he's got these two cattle for sale. One's a heifer, one's a steer. They're both 7 months old. They're mutts, like Jersey. There might be some Angus in there. Hereford, who knows? So I stumble upon him, and I reach out to him, and I find out that the reason he's selling is because he just had open heart surgery, and he can't do these chores right now. He can't lift anything by doctor's orders, and they also have a lot of goats, and it was just a lot. It was a lot for them to take care of. So we went out and we met them, and we took a look at the calves, and obviously fell in love with the calves, and which I really didn't expect to do. I kind of thought we would get out there and I would be turned off because they look nothing like a Jersey, and I was really, really focused on getting a Jersey. But then I look at them, and they come up to the fence, and they're electric fence trained, and they were bottle fed by these people. So super gentle. Like, the steer comes up and he's like, "Oh, please pet me, please love me." So I was like, okay, well, that's a done deal. And my kids, who were against getting any animals at this point, and on the way to meet the calves and the couple, were saying, we're not getting them. And then the moment we get back in the car, they're like, "We're going to get them, right?" Any of you who have kids know there is only one, like, acceptable answer to that question. So I'm like, of course we're going to get them. So at that point, it was all hands on deck. We are not ready to get calves. So we were building stalls up until like 8, 9 o'clock the night before they came. I ran to Tractor Supply and got some stuff, which wasn't as beneficial as I thought it was going to be, because the Tractor Supply in our area caters a lot to show horses, and lots and lots of equestrian stuff. Like, I think it was almost like 2 full aisles of horse stuff, and one little like section of one shelf was for cows. And I'm like, okay, not what I need. So they didn't have halters, they didn't have like hardly any selection of feed. They didn't have anything above like a sweet feed at 12%. And I'm like, okay, well, I gotta have something. So we mixed it with cracked corn for right now. I got a hold of a hay and straw guy, also super helpful. Shout out to Donald. Walked me around his beef cattle operation in his farm, and really, shared so much knowledge with me that, and it was obvious I had no idea what I was talking about, but shared so much of his knowledge with me. So thank you, Donald, for that. Really appreciate it. And we got some hay from him, and then we decided to go with the cornstalk bedding. That's what he uses at his place. And I also thought that we're going to have these calves penned up for probably 2 days to get used to us, to get used to the new sights, the new sounds and smells. Plus, today's weather, super crappy. So I didn't really want to put them out on pasture until I'm more familiar with their temperaments and things like that on an electric fence with no physical fences on my property. I need to know that I can get them to come to me, or at least get them back in the barn. So calves were delivered yesterday morning. Again, thank you, Red and the couple that sold them to us for delivering those. That was a huge help. So thank you, Red, for delivering that. And so they were delivered yesterday. They loaded at the seller's house really easily. Just walked right into the trailer, like, sure, let's go for a ride. We get them to the barn and open the door, and they just walked right out, like, which one's mine? Which stall is mine? And went right in. And I was like, wow, that's a lot easier than I expected. And they said the same thing, like, wow, that was really a lot easier than we expected. So got them in. We talked to the sellers and Red about the stalls that we had built. They gave us some pointers about how to kind of retrofit them a little bit better, things like that. So we're all over there yesterday, cleaning up, throwing stuff in the dumpster. Cold, so cold. My face last night was like beet red. I was so windburned that I could feel last night my skin burning. It was making my ears ring. It's so cold. And we're all out there, throwing stuff in the dumpster and everything. And we finally finished. And we are like, okay, we need to sit down. So I'm sitting down with my husband in our dining room, or what's going to be our dining room. And I'm like, isn't this nice? Next thing I hear is tap, 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 tap. And I turn around, and my mother-in-law's at the window. She'd already said goodbye to us. So I'm like, okay, bye. She's like, no. The cows are out. I'm like, how is that even possible? They're in stalls in a barn that they can't get out of. So we get up and we're running back to the barn. And the heifer had Houdini'd her way over her stall. So she had decided she wanted to explore, and she literally climbed/jumped over her stall, which her stall was taller than her. But I'm like, okay, we'll see how this works. So we put her back in. She went in fine. And we all stood there looking at these stalls like, how are we going to make them taller or retrofit them somehow? So we ended up putting additional slats on top of the stalls and doing our best to jerry-rig all of this because, I mean, I hate this term so bad. So it's literally, it's like we put her in jail. So we added slats on top of her pallet stall, and we went ahead and did it for him too, just in case he decided, hey, that was like fun. And she was not happy with us. She just stood there staring us down the whole time like, really? So that is what we did to try and keep her from acrobatics. and then spent some time with them yesterday. So I'm on my way back there today. It's roughly 24 hours since we got these calves.